We're at our test facility and storage unit. Let's see what we're rolling out today. Gas is getting pretty expensive. Maybe they'll send me a hybrid. Yep, they sure did. The Ford Escape hybrid. And this is the deluxe model plug-in hybrid, which means it does more. It also costs more money, as we'll see when we look at the price sheet. And I noticed this titanium tag on the back. When it has an emblem like that, you know it definitely costs more. The standard Ford Escape comes with a gasoline motor. Starts around 26,000 bucks. There's a hybrid that starts at 29,000 bucks. This is the plug-in hybrid. Here's a price it starts at, with the usual options they want to tack on to get more money out of you. Here's what ours cost. Wow. If you like economical Fords, we tested the Ford Mustang Mach-E electric car. We'll have a link for that video test at the end of this video. Just go to the end, click and watch. We also did a review on the 2021 Ford F-150 3.5 liter hybrid truck. We'll have a link for that video at the end of this video as well. So you're getting 3 hybrid tests for the price of 1, free. So the way it works, you plug in here, you plug in the other end into a socket, like so. Then when it's fully charged, supposedly you can drive up to 37 miles on electric only. Which means if you drove 35 miles a day for the next 50 years, you never have to buy a drop of gas. Of course, this is a $10,000 option, so you'd have to drive like 50 years just to pay for itself. Once the system runs dead, you're running on a regular hybrid system. And on that, Ford says you'll be getting 40 miles to the gallon on the average, compared to the standard hybrid at 41 miles to the gallon average. Of course, if you mix like 37 miles of electric only and 37 miles of gas only, you get far better figures. I figure just under 80 mpg, but they're claiming 105. I don't know how that formula works. Don't know. So, since I've had this vehicle, I put 32 miles on it. Computer says 10.9 was electric, the rest was hybrid. And we were driving rather slow. That's 2 hours worth of driving. 33 mpg. That's a bit lower than 40, but I'm just the messenger here. I'm going to rack up around 500 miles at least on this, so don't go away. We have more figures coming up for you. One of the first things we do when we get a vehicle is check underneath the floor and see if there's a spare tire there. A lot of hybrids do not, and no, there is no spare tire. In fact, there's nowhere to put one because some genius decided to put the 12-volt battery down here. All that room taken up for one little battery. Unreal. You do get a tire repair kit. Okay, if you get a nail, but if you get a cut sidewall, they're no good. This is an interesting waste of space. I don't want to pick on Ford here, but this seems to me to be lazy engineering. Like they couldn't put the battery somewhere else. I know there's not much room up front, but come on. Of course, it does save money. I bet the guy who thought of this, or female that thought of this, probably got a bonus for all the money they saved the company. Still, all this space where a tire could go, not going to happen. Here's where the charge plug goes. Another gripe I have is the carpeted surface on this floor panel here. Way too slick. So when I put my tire repair kit on here, it slides back and forth, banging on the walls every time I take a corner. I'm not picking on Ford here. This is basically most of the manufacturers give us these carpeted floors in the storage area, and it's dumb. There's no traction here. Give us some good rubber. Oh well. Another thing we do in our videos, we take the headlights out in the dark and so they perform. We're going to do that at the end of this video when we're out doing our road test. So you want to see what the headlights do, don't go away, stay tuned. Got a lot of bulbs in there. Okay, let's pop the hood and look at the engine, and easy to see why the battery's not up here because there's nowhere to put it. Alright, let's look under the hood and see what we've got. The standard hybrid has a 2.5 liter with the electric motor and small battery, puts out 200 horsepower. around 41 mpg. This plug-in hybrid has a larger 14.4 kilowatt battery system or battery pack. I'm not a hybrid guy, something like that. All I can tell you is it puts out 221 horsepower. And unlike the standard hybrid, which is offered in all-wheel drive, this is front-wheel drive only. This gas tank isn't the largest around, 14 gallons, but if you really get the 40 mpg claimed and the 37 miles on the electric, Ford claims you get up to 560 miles on a full charge and tank. Nice if you can get it. We'll find out soon enough in this video. For the transmission shifter, we don't get a stick, which is fine with me. They're obsolete. They take up too much room. You have to take your eyes off the road to use them. You have to put it in park before you turn the car off. I'm glad they're going away. To replace that, I prefer push buttons, but I can live with this dial. Still better than a stick. And we get some nice, large, deep cup holders beside that, too. Lots of room in this glove box. Maybe they should have put the battery in here, huh? Little humor for you. The climate control is very simple to use. Don't need to read the owner's manual. Radio controls, very simple, with a real volume knob and a tuning knob. Thank you very much. And in the daylight, the rearview camera has very good clarity. Screen's not the largest, but more than adequate for me. One complaint other journalists have been bitching about is the quality of plastic in the cabin. And on paper, this is a well-designed interior, but this is pretty low-grade plastic. Not really fitting for a $42,000 vehicle, but let's remember, this started as a $26,000 vehicle, so go figure. Alright, first half of this video is over. Second half, we're going out and do some driving. That's what we're here for, right? The power steering seems quick and responsive enough, but there's really no connect to the rest of the vehicle. It's like the controls on a video game. I don't think the average person is really going to care. I'm just picky about that stuff more than the average person. As we do all of my videos, we're going to take some mild speed humps at 15 miles per hour, see how the suspension performs an impact. And if you hear clunky noises, it's not the car. I have the tire repair kit in the back along with some other stuff. That's why we're hearing luggage, not the car. Here's bump number 1. Reasonably smooth. We got a pothole. Ooh, felt that. Bump number 2. Didn't feel that. That was a deep pothole too. Number 3. And the nasty bump. The big one. Huh. No worse than the others. This isn't a dragster, but with 220 horsepower and the torque of electric motors and batteries. Pickup's pretty decent. Brakes are very nice. This vehicle is made for daily driving comfort, not taking corners like a sports car, and if you attempt to do so, not a good idea. Lots of body lean, tire squealing. Well, it just wasn't made for that, obviously. Okay, fuel economy. This vehicle's been in the fleet for 2769.7 miles. And during that time I got 40.7 mpg, but note, 863 of those miles were electric. The other gasoline hybrid operation. So let's do some more math. Subtract the 863 electric miles from the 2769. It gives us approximately 1,900 miles on gasoline only. Divide that by the 70 gallons, it gives us an mpg of around 27 to 28 miles to the gallon, driving on gasoline, non-electric only. So to test that theory, I let the main charging battery run dead, running on hybrid and gasoline only. Racked up 250 miles, 34 that's electric, obviously something that was generated in normal driving. I didn't charge it through the plug. and it gives us 32.5 mpg. Now let's say you go to work on fully electric charge at 33 to 35 miles and come back in the gasoline engine at 33 to 35 miles. That would give you approximately 65 to 70 miles to the gallon, depending on your driving conditions. In other words, in order to get your fuel economy up, you're going to have to use that charging system quite often. That's what they designed it for, right? And as stated earlier, if you only drive 35 miles a day, you'll never use any gasoline at all, but it's going to take a long time for the system to pay for itself. Well, those are my figures for this 1 week drive anyway. If you have any questions or comments or insults, that's what the comment section is for down below. Type away. Okay, one last thing to do. Take these headlights out in the dark and see how they perform. And we'll do that right now. Alright, it's dark enough. Let's see what these lights do. Low beams only have 1/2 working at the moment. Now we got the high beams, have both sides working. Look pretty impressive from where I'm standing, but we'll find out soon enough what they really do. Here's the rear view. Adequate. And here's what the emergency flashers look like. Aren't they supposed to be red instead of orange? Oh well. Not tonight. And here from the front. And let's see, from the cabin, the gauge cluster lights up pretty good. Info screen panel, pretty good. Cup holders, very good. Reverse camera, adequate. I'm seeing a lot of flutter on my camera, but it's not there in person for some reason, so blame my cheap handheld camera, not the car. Pretty clear in person. Now for the headlights. Have the low beam on a wall 100 feet away, very bright, decent height. Good wide spread, no complaints here. Let's go to the high beam. Super strong in the center for sure. And here we have the brights on a fence 80 yards away with the building 130 yards away. Extremely bright, at least in the center. Go low beam. Very impressive, reaches all the way out. Excellent headlights. No complaints from me. And in the real world, doing pretty good on these long streets. And this wraps up our headlight test. And it passed. This concludes our Ford Escape Hybrid plug-in test. Here's some other vehicles we've driven. Just click and watch.